You waiting for me, Clay? She trudged through 4 inches of snow to the silo with the trampled mush. I loved you once. So very, very much. You loved me, too. She thought about the men who had passed through her life in the years since she'd left Montana. They'd served their purpose, but none of them had ever captured the piece of her heart that had always belonged to Clay. She wasn't foolish enough to believe he'd been celibate all these years. A man like Clay attracted women as easily as breathing in. Is it the same for you, Clay? Is there a part of you that was always waiting for us? For our time to come again? Her suede boots were soaked by the time she was close enough to the silo to see the fresh footsteps in the snow. Her hand recoiled from the frozen door latch. She pulled the sleeve of her jacket low enough to cover her fingers and tried again. The door rasped across frigid concrete. Clay? She called out as she stepped into the dark interior. Are you in here? She heard a click, magnified in the cavernous space. One heart flutter later, the familiar tempo of Chicago blues filled the air. A harmonica wailed and a guitar pounded the beat. If you've got power for a boombox, you've got power for a lamp. She stepped toward the music. Or candles. Better yet, how about a space heater? She felt fingers trace a line on the back of her neck and spun around to see nothing but blackness. It's like that, is it? Hide and seek? That the game? She heard a scraping across the floor, this time behind her, to her right. No fair, Clay. You've got the lay of the land. You know where I am. Give a girl a helping hand, will you? The song played on. Miranda hadn't heard it before, but it was good. Just the kind of music she'd come to realize was now Clay's favorite. A minute later, there was another chafing against the concrete. The sound came toward her. Something bumped against her left leg. Her hands reached out, feeling its shape. Is this for me? You want me to sit in this chair? There was no response. She sat anyway. The tune ended, followed by one of her favorites, Juice Newton singing a sweet love song from Miranda's teenage years. She let the memories of first love warm her in the dark. You remember, she said. Again, no response. Miranda listened to the tender lyrics, oblivious now to the cold. A light, please, she requested when the song was finished. I want to see you. I want to look into those gray eyes. A dull thud sounded overhead. She looked up. The rusted roof let in enough light from the starless sky to permit a murky vision of shadow on shadow. Something was suspended above her. It appeared to sway before it stopped. Another shadow moved, this time behind her, reaching, connecting to the shadow above her. Another song pierced the air, jarring, loud, ominous head-banging roars. A gloved hand gripped her right shoulder, squeezed, pinched. Stop! Miranda twisted to her left, but the hand held her to her chair. Something was pulled over her head. It rested around her neck, scratchy, heavy. Another memory from childhood leaped to the surface. She knew that smell. Rope. She pushed with her legs and scrambled free of the chair. She ran forward 3 steps, only to be stopped by the pull against her throat. She wrapped her fingers around the rope, desperate to wedge them between it and her skin. The heavy knot dug into the back of her neck, denying her fingers any room. She spun around, kicking and punching, grabbing at nothing but black space. She felt herself being lifted. Her legs joined her arms now, flailing at the same emptiness. Higher and higher she floated. Tighter and tighter the rope. Weaker and weaker her struggle. Long, agonizing seconds later, her body relaxed and accepted the inevitable. Her arms and legs hung limp at her sides. Her eyes closed. Her mind gave up one last thought before falling into the eternal abyss. When did Clay start liking heavy metal?